They were not soldiers in uniform, not men trained to fight for their country. They were loyal, brave, and utterly devoted, four-legged heroes who never asked why. During the Vietnam War, more than 4,000 dogs served alongside American troops. They walked point-on jungle patrols, detected ambushes before they happened, and saved thousands of lives. Yet, when the war ended, they were left behind. These are the forgotten heroes of Vietnam. In the humid jungles of Southeast Asia, where every sound could mean death, American soldiers trusted only one sense more than their rifles: their dogs. They were known as war dogs. Most were German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and Labradors, breeds chosen for their sharp instincts, endurance, and unwavering loyalty. They worked in small teams called K9 units, each dog paired with one handler. For the soldier, his dog wasn't just an animal. It was his lifeline. Together, they would move silently through thick vegetation, step by cautious step. The dog's nose could pick up the faintest trace of human scent, sometimes from over 300 yards away. If danger was near, the dog would freeze, ears raised, tail stiff, and the handler knew they weren't alone. The bond between man and dog was something beyond words. Handlers said their dogs could sense fear, comfort them in moments of terror, and sometimes even seemed to understand what war meant. One soldier later said, "He was my best friend, my brother, and my guardian angel, all in one." By 1968, military dogs had become vital to the U.S. war effort. They guarded perimeters, searched for tunnels, tracked down Viet Cong fighters, and sniffed out landmines before soldiers stepped on them. The Pentagon estimated that these dogs saved over 10,000 American lives, but their courage came with a price. The Viet Cong knew that one dog could destroy an ambush, so they targeted them first. Snipers were trained to aim for the dogs. Handlers recalled the sound, a whistle, a yelp, and then silence. Many soldiers risked their own lives to pull their wounded partners to safety. Some didn't make it back. One story that lives on is that of Nemo A534. In December 1966, during a Viet Cong attack on Tan Son Nhut Air Base, Nemo and his handler, Airman Bob Thronberg, were ambushed. Nemo took a bullet to the face but kept fighting, taking down one attacker and guarding his wounded handler until reinforcements arrived. He lost an eye but survived. Nemo became one of the very few war dogs to be brought back home, a living legend of loyalty and bravery. But most weren't as lucky. As U.S. forces began to withdraw in 1973, a heartbreaking question arose. What would happen to the dogs? Handlers assumed they would be brought home. They had rank, they had missions, they had saved lives. But the U.S. military saw them differently, classified as equipment. And by military policy, equipment was to be left behind, transferred, or destroyed. In plain words, euthanized. Of the more than 4,000 dogs who served, only around 200 were brought back to the United States. The rest, over 3,800, were abandoned, handed to the South Vietnamese Army, or put down. Handlers wrote letters, begged their commanders, even offered to pay for their dogs' transport. But orders were orders. One veteran later wrote, "They told me to leave him. I cried the whole way home. I left my best friend in Vietnam." For many soldiers, that pain never healed. Some said it hurt more than losing a fellow soldier because the dogs had trusted them completely. Every bark, every mission, every night in the jungle, They had faced it together, and now they were gone. Years passed before the truth reached the public. In the late 1980s and 1990s, journalists, animal rights groups, and war dog veterans began to speak out. They told the world what had been done and demanded justice for their fallen companions. Their fight took years, but in 2000, President Bill Clinton finally signed a law ensuring that no military working dog would ever be left behind again. From then on, every service dog would be allowed to retire, adopted by their handlers or new families. But for the dogs of Vietnam, it was too late. Their loyalty had gone unrewarded, their sacrifice unrecognized for decades. Today, their memory lives on. At Lackland Air Force Base in Texas stands the War Dog Memorial. 4 bronze figures, 1 handler, 3 dogs, stand watch forever. At the base of the statue, the words read, "They protected us." We must protect them every year. Veterans gather there, some gray-haired now, walking slowly, holding worn photographs or faded dog tags. Many still choke up when they speak of their dogs. Some even bring old collars they've kept for 50 years. And when they talk, you can hear the tremor in their voices. Because to them, these weren't just animals. They were brothers in arms, heroes with paws, and ghosts that still follow them in their dreams. So the next time you see a service dog, remember this. Once upon a time, in the jungles of Vietnam, there were dogs who stood guard in the dark, who smelled danger before anyone else could see it, and who stayed loyal, even when the world forgot them.